So if I had to say one thing about Bernie Sanders, I would say that he supports capitalism and his programs support capitalism. Him saying that he is a democratic socialist does not mean that he's a socialist. As long as you have a democratic base, social programs are not scary. In fact, Roosevelt helped to pull us out of the Great Depression by introducing social programs. And because those social programs helped us economically as a country, the free market was able to grow and boom again. Social programs, they can actually support the free market. They can step in areas where capitalism doesn't really work. We used to have firefighters who were part of a capitalist power structure. And then what happened was someone who was poor and couldn't afford the firefighters, their house caught on fire, and then someone else's house caught on fire. And by the time it got to the people's, houses that could afford to pay for those firefighters, the blaze was too big. So we started to realize that there's certain things that we do want the government to do, because we know that everybody should be able to call and have a fire put out if it happens at their house. Same thing with the police. We know that if your life is in danger, then we want you to be able to call law enforcement. That helps our entire society. And originally, having some sort of security was privatized. And you can see how having a safer society as a whole, it benefits free enterprise. The economies of different nations really do rest upon how solid and safe those nations are to begin with. I took a business course and it talked about deciding which countries to go ahead and build your business in. And we talked about making sure that the country was safe and stable. And that would be a good place to grow our capitalist businesses from a business standpoint. So having these programs, having firefighters, having police, having social security for people once they get older, having the ability to help people who are older with, Medicare and Medicaid that we have right now. Having the ability to make our country a safer, more stable place makes businesses boom. FDR decided to institute some social programs to help pull us out of the Great Depression, and right now our economy is stagnant. And so what Bernie Sanders is saying is that we need to do that same sort of thing, implement some social programs in order to help our economy grow and thrive, to help protect the free market, to help encourage capitalism. So remember, democratic socialism is not about stamping out the free market. It is about supporting the free market. It is about creating stability in a nation that allows businesses to grow. It is about protecting our citizens at a very basic level so that those citizens are free to go and compete and create amazing things. You don't want a government to create tennis shoes. You want capitalism to give you the very best types of tennis shoes, but you don't want people to have to, hire their own firefighters. Or we don't want people to hire all these individual little armies. We want our government to have one military that supports us. Having a socialized military allows us to be stronger on the world stage. A lot of the programs that pulled our economy out of the Great Depression, we have actually cut down on. People don't want Social Security to be taken away, but it's already been cut into, and a lot of people don't know it. You shouldn't be scared of a democratic socialist. A democratic socialist also recognizes that just like we did during the Great Depression, we need certain aspects of our life to be taken care of, to be assured just by living as a citizen of such an incredible country. We can be proud to be Americans, and we can be proud that we want a democratic socialist to help support our free market economy. I understand that that sounds scary because we've had some dictators who have used socialist programs in a way that has been really bad for their countries, but Hitler was a capitalist. So that is not the entire story. The democratic part of democratic socialism is crucial. It is key. Democratic socialism is not socialist. The economic policy does not let you know about the absolute power of the president or head of state. Even the army is ran in a socialized manner. If you go to call the police, that is a social program that the government is paying for, because otherwise only the people who could afford to be protected from bad guys would be. We're living in a mixed economy right now. That means that we have socialized programs and we have capitalist competition. Having a social safety net has allowed Americans to be more free. Social programs will take us to a new era of economic freedom. So Bernie Sanders, his programs are awesome for capitalism. And if you want a free market that is thriving in the future, then you should go with Sanders.